Hi, my Storytime friends. It's Judy from the Great Neck Library Children's Department again, and I wanted to share with you some books I have about seeds and about springtime that I really enjoy, and you can learn something and see new things when you go out for a walk outside. Okay, this is called Patterns in Nature, and maybe you're starting to learn about math and what patterns are, so you would like this book. And it has a few chapters to it. So let's see. Here's the first chapter. We're going to learn about what is a pattern, all right? A pattern is a set of shapes or symbols that are repeated. Patterns are found everywhere in our world. See that? That looks like sand in the desert that has a pattern. And this chapter is called Plant Patterns. Plants have patterns. See how it has shapes that repeat in the leaves? This mushroom has a pattern on its cap. Acorns and leaves have patterns. Look closely at the acorn cap. See that? Okay, they have shapes. Now this chapter is called Animal Patterns. See, what does that look like? Spider web, right? There are all kinds of animal patterns. Some animals make patterns. Many spiders make patterns in their webs. Honeybees make patterns in the honeycomb. Snakes make patterns in the sand when they move. Some animals have patterns on their skin. Zebras have patterns of stripes. The pattern on this snake's skin tells what kind of snake it is. Some feathers have patterns on them. That looks like a peacock, right? This shell has a pattern. See how the lines on the shell repeat? This butterfly has a pattern on its wings that look like eyes. There are even patterns in water. This wave has a pattern. There are lines leading to the top of the curving wave. Raindrops make a pattern on the grass. Patterns are everywhere in nature. Now here's something you can try. This chapter is called Now Try This. Look for patterns in your classroom, on the walls, on the floor, on books, and on clothing. You could look at home too for those things. Look for patterns of shape, size, and color. On a sheet of paper, copy the pattern you like best, and then draw your own pattern. That sounds like fun. That's something you could do. All right. One other book I want to share with you. This one is about all the seasons, and it's about seeds. And it's called The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. And Eric Carle has written many, many picture books for kids that are just so wonderful. All right. Some of you might know, are familiar with his books. All right. Okay, now. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind. But the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. One seed drifts down into the desert It's hot and dry and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats the seed for his lunch, but the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls, the seeds grow so round and full they start to burst open a little. And now they are not seeds anymore, they are plants. First they send roots down into the earth, then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It's a big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and rain away from one of the small new plants. So that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and, oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. See how, whoops, looks like he stepped on one by accident. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but his neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud. And now even a flower. But what is happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is the summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It's taller than the people. It's taller than the trees. It's taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. Wow, have you ever seen a flower that's taller than a house? I don't think I have. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Let's see what happens next. Now it's autumn again. The days grow shorter and the nights grow cooler. The wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. Right, all the leaves fall down in the fall. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. And once more the wind shakes the flower. This time the flower seed pod opens and out come the tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. That's the end. All right, I hope you have enjoyed these books, and I hope you enjoy getting outside during this beautiful spring weather. Have a fun day.